Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be a complete lesson on HTML, JavaScript, what it is, how it works, and how we use it to build real things like a live ticking clock. I'll explain everything one by one with real examples. So just sit back, follow along, and by the end of this video, you'll be able to write JavaScript yourself. Let's begin. So first of all, what is JavaScript? So JavaScript is a programming language, okay, that runs inside your web browser. It makes your HTML pages dynamic and interactive. Understand? Now let me explain what dynamic means with a simple comparison. HTML is like a skeleton of a web page. CSS is like the clothes and design, but JavaScript is like the brain. It makes things move, respond, and react to the user. Without JavaScript, a web page just sits there and does nothing. But with JavaScript, you can click buttons, show pop-ups, hide and show content, validate forms, and even display a live clock that ticks every second. And that is exactly what we are going to build today. Now, before we write any code, let me show you the three ways to add JavaScript to an HTML page because this is something every beginner must know. The first way is inline JavaScript. This means you write JavaScript directly inside an HTML tag. Let me show you how you can do this. So you need the button tag, okay? So if you want to add the JavaScript inside this, you need alert. Then you need to write some text like hello world, okay? So you need to close this tag and you need to write here click me. So when the user clicks this button, a pop-up appears saying hello world. Okay, the on click is an event attribute. It tells the browser when this button is clicked, run this JavaScript code. So this is the simplest way, but it is only good for very small tasks. The second way is internal JavaScript. This means you write your JavaScript inside a script tag. Okay, so let me show you how you can do this. So for example, you need the script tag, and inside this you need to write here alert. Then you write something like hello from internal JavaScript. Okay, and then you need to set this. So you place this script tag at the bottom of the body section, and I'll explain exactly why in just a moment. The third way is external JavaScript. Okay, so this is the most professional method. You create a separate file with the .js extension and link it to your HTML file like this. Let me show you. So you need to write here script, then you need to set the source. The source is for example myscript.js. Okay, we have saved a file and then you close this tag. So, and inside your myscript.js file, you just write your JavaScript code directly. So this keeps everything clean and organized. And you can reuse the same JavaScript file across multiple HTML pages. Now, let me answer the question. Where exactly should you place this script tag? If you place it in a head section, JavaScript runs before the HTML has loaded, and that causes errors before JavaScript tries to find elements on the page that do not exist yet. So, the correct and recommended practice is to place your script tag just before the closing body tag. So, let me show you how you can do this. So, for example, you need the HTML tag, then you need the head tag. So, here we need the title tag, and we are going to write here for example my page. Okay, what we need here the body tag, and inside the body I'm going to use the paragraph, and in the opening tag of paragraph I'm going to use the ID name is demo, and I'm going to write here hello. Okay, so here you need the script tag. So inside the opening tag of the script tag you need source, and you're going to write here my script.js. So this way, all your HTML loads first and then JavaScript runs. No errors, no problems. Okay, now let's write our first real example we are going to make a button that changes the text on the page when clicked. Okay, so let me show you how you can do this. So first of all, let me open up the preview tab so you can better observe the code, or you can check what our code do. First of all, we need the doc type HTML, then we need the HTML tag. Here we need the head tag, and inside this we need the title, and I'm gonna write here change text example. So now we need here the body tag. So inside the body, I'm gonna write the paragraph, and the paragraph name is this is the original text. Okay, and inside the opening tag of the paragraph, I need to set the ID. The ID name is demo. We are going to call it later in JavaScript. So here we need the button tag. Okay, so first of all, button tag, and inside this button tag, opening tag, I'm gonna write here on click. So let me write here on click that it's an attribute, and I'm gonna write here function. The function name is change text. Okay, now we need to write give it a braces, and we are going to write here click to change the text. So what we are going to do next, we need here the script tag. So we need here the script tag, and inside the script tag we need to call the function. The function name is change text. Okay, and we need here curly braces. Then we need here document means we are going to target the full HTML page. Then we need here the get element by ID. The ID name is demo. So we need to set here dot inner HTML. Then we need to write here some text like the text has been changed. Okay, then we need this, and we need to close the script tag, and to close the body tag, and to close the HTML. So let me explain this line by line. We have a paragraph, as you can see, with an ID of demo. The ID is like a name tag. It helps JavaScript finds this exact element on the page. Then we have a button tag, okay, with the on click change text function, which means when the user clicks this button, it runs the function called change text. Inside the script tag, as you can see, we have our function. The line document.getElement by ID demo tells the JavaScript go find the element on the page that has the ID called demo. Then .inner HTML tells JavaScript change the content inside that element, and we set it equal to our new text, and the text has been changed. So when you click the button, the paragraph text changes instantly without any page reload, as you can see. That is JavaScript talking directly to your HTML in real time. So this is called DOM. It is called DOM manipulation, and it is the heart of JavaScript. DOM stands for Document Object Model. When the browser loads your HTML page, it creates a model of all the elements in memory, and the JavaScript can access and change any part of that model at any time. Understand? Okay, so let's do another example. This time we will hide and show a paragraph using JavaScript. First of all, we need the doc type HTML. Then we need the HTML tag. We need here the head tag. It's a basic structure of HTML. Hide and show. Then we need here the body tag, and inside the body we need the paragraph. The paragraph is I am visible right now. Okay, inside the opening tag of the paragraph we need to set here the ID. The ID is my text. We are going to call it later in JavaScript. Then we need here the button tag, and we need here the function on click, and the function name is hide text. Okay, so we need to close this, and I'm going to write here hide text. It is our first button. Okay, now let's add another button, and we are going to use here the on click attribute, and we are going to use the function. The function name is show text, and I'm going to write here show text. Okay, so we have here two buttons. Okay, let's add some JavaScript code. So the script tag, and inside this we are going to call the function. First function is hide text. So we need here document dot get element by id, and the id name is, let me write here the id name. The id name is my text. Okay, then what we need here, we need here style dot display, then we need here none. Okay, we are going to set it to none. Okay, so we are going to call another function, and it is show text. We need here curly braces, then we need here document get element by id, and the id name is my text, and then we're going to use here style dot display, and we are going to set it to block. Okay, so then what we need to close the script tag, then body tag, and then html. So here we have two buttons, one to hide and one to show the paragraph. When you click the hide text, if you click it, as you can see, the hide text function runs and sets the display style to none, which makes the paragraph disappear. So when you click the show text function runs and sets the display style block to, back to block, which makes the paragraph appear again. So JavaScript is directly changing the CSS style of the element in real time. This is incredibly powerful. Now let's move into the main topic, displaying the current time with JavaScript, and trust me, everything we just learned loads directly into this. So first of all, we need here to work with the time in JavaScript. We use something called the date object. It is a built-in feature of JavaScript. You do not need to install anything. It is already available in every browser. So let me show you how you can create this. So first of all, you need let now, and you need new date, and then you need this, you need here. Okay, so this one line tells JavaScript read the current date and time from the system clock right now and store it in a variable called now. Okay, let it specifies the variable. From this date object we can extract the hours, minutes, and seconds, okay, using the three methods. First method is now dot get hours, and then it will returns the for example current hour. Okay, the second method is now dot get minutes. This is the second method. Okay, so it will returns the current minute. The third method is now dot get seconds. So what this third method do, it returns the current second. Okay, so each of these returns a number. For example, if the time is 3:05:09 p.m., get hours returns 15, because JavaScript uses 24-hour format by default. Get minutes return 5, and get seconds returns 9. Now let's use this to build our first clock example. So first of all, we need here doc type HTML, then we need the HTML tag. Inside this we need the head tag. Then we need the title. The title is showtime. Okay. So what we need here, the body tag. Inside the body we need to write here h2. H2, and I'm going to write here click the button to see the current time. Okay. Then what we need next, we need here the button. So inside the button opening tag we need to set the on click, the function. The function name is show time, and I'm gonna write here show time. Okay, we have set the button. So here we need the paragraph tag, and I'm gonna write here id. The id name is time display. We are going to later call it in JavaScript. Okay, so here we need to write the script tag. So I'm gonna call the function, and the function name is show time. Then in the curly braces we need to use the let, I mean now, as a variable, and we need here new date. Then what we need, let hours is equal to now dot get hours method. Okay, so it will show the current hours. Then we need to set another variable, that is minutes, and we need to write here now dot get minutes. Okay, this is another method to show the current minutes. Now we need to set here another variable. The variable name is let seconds. Now dot get seconds, and we need to write this. Okay, so let's combine them in the single string. So we need to set another variable. The variable name is time string, and we need to set here hours. Then what we need here, we need to set this, and we need here, for example, minutes. Then we need here, we write this. So we need here seconds, and we need this. Okay, so now let's call the full document. I mean, we are allowing the JavaScript to cover the full HTML page. So here we need get element by ID, and the ID name is time display. Okay, we need to write it in commas, time display. And what we need here, dot inner HTML is equal to time string. Okay, then we need this, so we need to close the script tag, then body tag, and then HTML tag. We have a button that calls show time. Okay, as you can see, we have a button that have the function show time. When clicked, we have an empty paragraph with ID time display, so this is where the time will appear. Inside the function, we create a new date object. We extract hours, as you can see, minutes and seconds by using the variable. So we combine them into one string with colons in between, and then we put that string into the paragraph using get element by ID and inner HTML, as you can see. So click the button and the current time appears on the screen instantly. Let me click the button, as you can see. But here is the thing, this time does not update. It shows the time at the moment you clicked and then just stays there. For a real ticking clock, we need something more. We need set interval. So what is set interval? Set interval is a JavaScript function that repeats a task again and again after a fixed time gap. Okay, so let's remove this and let me explain what is set interval. It repeats a task again and again after a fixed time gap. Okay, so let me show you the syntax. The syntax is, you need to write here set interval, and then you need to write here function name, then you need milliseconds. Okay, then you need this. First argument is the function you want to repeat. The second argument is the time gap in milliseconds. Remember, 1 second equals 1000 milliseconds. Okay, 1 second is equal to 1000 milliseconds. So to update the time every single second, we write set interval. For example, we need to write this set interval. Then we need to write here, for example, the function name is update clock. Okay, and now we need comma, then we need to write here 1000, and we need this. So this tells JavaScript run the update clock function every 1000 milliseconds, meaning every single second. So this gives us a live ticking clock. Okay, now let's build the real live clock, and this time I'm also going to fix a common display problem using something called pad start. Here is the issue first. When minutes or seconds are less than 10, for example 3 minutes and 5 seconds, JavaScript shows it as 3 5 instead of let me show you, JavaScript shows 35 instead of 0305. A real clock always shows two digits. So we use pad start. We use the pad start, then we set it to 2, and we need comma and then 0. Okay, to fix this, it adds a 0 at the beginning if the number has only one digit. So let me show you a professional clock. So first of all, we need here the doc type HTML, then we need here the HTML tag, and we need here the head tag. And inside this, we are going to write here the title. So inside the title, I'm going to write here live digital clock. Okay. So we need here first of all the style tag. Inside style, we are going to set the body, and I'm gonna use the background color for the body. The background color will be black. Okay, as you can see the effect. Okay, now let's cover up the ID name is clock, and we are going to set it in the body. So the font size, for example, would be 80px. Let me set the 80px. And font weight, the font weight, bold, and the color, let me set it to lime. Okay, and now let me align the text, and I'm going to set it to align it to center. Now let's add the margin top, and I'm going to set it to 150px. Now set the font family, and I'm going to set it to monospace. Okay, so let's close the style tag, and now we need to start the body tag. So inside the body tag, we need to write here first of all div, and we need to set the ID. The ID name is clock. Now we need to close this. So what we need here, let me show you. So first of all, we need the script tag. So inside the script tag, we are going to call the function. The function name is update clock. Okay, so here we need this. So first of all, I'm going to write here let now, and I'm going to use the new date. So let me write this, and here we need let hours. I'm going to set another variable, the name is let hours. Okay, now we need here the string, and I'm going to write here now dot get hours, and now we need this. So first of all, we need to write here pad start, and what we are going to write here 2 and 0. Okay, so it will add a digit. Okay, now let's add another variable. The variable name is minutes. So first of all, we need here string. Now we need to write here now dot get minutes, and we need this. So we need to write here pad start, and we need to write here 2 and 0. Okay, so we are going to set another variable. The variable name is seconds. So we need let seconds. Now we need here string, and I'm going to write here now dot get seconds, and what we need here this. So we need here pad start, and I'm going to write here 2 and 0. Okay, so here we need let time string. Let's combine all these into a single variable. Okay, now we need here hours. So first of all, we need here this, and now we need here minutes. Now we need this. So let me add this here, the seconds. So let's close this. Seconds. Okay, now what we need here, we need the document dot get element by id. First of all, let me add here document dot get element by id, and what we need next, we need to call the function. I mean the ID. The ID name is clock. Okay, now let's add inner HTML, and I'm gonna write here first of all, and we are gonna close this tag. So now let's start another function. The function name is set interval. Okay, the function name is set interval. So now we need here update clock, and we need here 1000. So here we need to write update clock. It is another function, so we need this. Now is the time to close the script tag and the body tag and then HTML. Okay, let me walk through this completely. So in the style section, the body background is black, as you can see. The clock div has a font size of 80 pixels, as you can see, and bold, and the color is lime green, centered on the page, and uses a monospace font. Okay, so which means every character takes the same amount of space, just like a real digital clock display. So in the body we just have one empty div with the ID of clock, as you can see. So in the script, the update function, as you can see, creates a new date object, extracts hours, minutes and seconds, and applies pat star to each one. String now get hours, as you can see, we have the get hour string. This converts the time number into text first, then dot pad star 20 says if this text is shorter than two characters, add a 0 at the start. So 5 becomes 05 and 9 becomes 09, but 12 stays 12. Then we combine them into a time string and put it into the clock dive. So at the bottom, if you see, we have here the set interval update clock 1000, runs the function every second, and update clock, we call it once immediately, so the clock shows up right away when the page loads without any 1 second delay. So open this in your browser and you will see a beautiful green digital clock on a black background ticking every single second. Okay, I think it's now making sense. Alright everyone, let's quickly recap everything we covered in this video. Number one, JavaScript makes HTML pages dynamic and interactive. HTML and CSS alone cannot do this. And number two, there are three ways to add JavaScript: inline inside a tag, internal inside a script tag, and external in a separate JS file. Number three, always place your script tag at the bottom of the body so HTML loads first. And number four, JavaScript uses the DOM, I mean document object model, to find and change HTML elements using document.getElementById. By ID. And number five, the date object is in the JavaScript reads the current time from the system using get hours, get minutes, and get seconds. Okay, use set interval with 1000 milliseconds to update the clock every single second automatically, and use pad star to always show two digits. So 5 becomes 05 and 9 becomes 09. And for a 12-hour clock, check if hours is greater than 12 and subtract 12, then add AM or PM at the end. And that is the complete guide from understanding what JavaScript is all the way to building a real live digital clock on a web page. You now have everything you need to start using JavaScript in your HTML projects. If this video helped you, please hit the like button right now and subscribe to the channel so you never miss a single lesson. Every video on this channel is designed to teach you step by step from beginner to advanced. In the next video, we will learn how to display the current date, the day, month, and year using JavaScript. Okay, so make sure you subscribed and have notifications turned on. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Happy coding.